Okay, so I just got done watching the latest Joe Pazinski video and the latest Blondie Hacks video, and I just had this urge to come out to the garage and do at least a little bit of something. So I don't know if you guys remember this part or not. This is the depth stop for the Cochrane Bly mill, and it took me a little bit of finagling to get this mechanism to move smoothly, and still feels like if it gets even a microscopic piece of grit in there, it wants to try and bind up a little bit. But I finally got enough of the surface cleaned up in there to make it run fairly smoothly. Got it, when I welded it together, just a fuzz too tight through here. So now that I've got it sanded, there's very, very little play in it. I should probably try to get a mic on it, or not a mic, a test indicator one of these days and see, but it's very, very tight, at least as far as, you know, up and down is concerned. So anyways, I figured I would kind of just bring you guys along for a couple little projects that I wanted to try and finish up before I completely forget how exactly to even do the projects. So this is one of them. The other one is the swivel part of the vise for the Atlas shaper. I've got it clamped on the other mill right now, ready to take the rest of the weld down to the surface metal so that I can kind of clean it up a little bit. I think there might be a little bit of, I don't think the upper and lower surface on the vise swivel mechanism, or vise swivel plate, is quite perfectly parallel, but since I've gotten a hold of a couple of surface plates, hopefully at some point in the future I'll be able to spend a little bit of time messing around with that to try to dial it in. Well, this is not really a good sort of setup here to access these bolts. The kicker is I can't really get this mechanism out of the way entirely to access these real well. There we go. That's getting a little easier. Okay. There we go. I figured it'd be kind of nice to do this before I forget how the thing even goes back together, but finally, one thing that went back together on the Cochrane Bly. Anyways, I'll point you guys over here at the other one real quick, the other mill, and I'll see if I can do this little project. I'll see if I can do this project without getting in you guys' way. So I've got my Z right now zeroed to this surface here, and I've dropped it back down a little bit so that I should be clearing the welds right now. So I'm just going to fire up the mill and just slowly increment the Z-axis up a little bit and just start taking a little bit off of this and try to blend this in with the surface here. Like I said, I think one side is lower than the other, so This is still going to need to be tuned up a little bit better at some point using the surface plate, and maybe hopefully doing some scraping at some point in the future. So anyways, this is the first time I have turned on any of these machines since I started messing around with the house. So here goes nothing. I'm going to raise my Z up just a little bit. There, she's touching. Raise it up a little more. I know what I'm forgetting. Well, that gives you an idea how rusty I am. Alright, a little more on the Z. About 5,000ths of the time, just taking it nice and easy on this. This is going to bring me back to 0. Let's see how this cleans, see if this cleans up or if I need to do anything more. deeper on the inboard one, it looks like. Yeah, I need a little bit more. Just going to creep up on this. I'm getting into the casting a little bit on the forward edge of it, but not quite on the back, on the outer ring of this thing. So I know I'm getting fairly close, but trying to be real cautious about how much material I take off, trying not to get too much into the casting. I think, under the circumstances, I might want to hold off until I can actually get some better measurements on this thing. But at any rate, it's nice to have thrown at least a few chips since it's been, geez, I don't know, almost a month. I'll bring you guys up close here and show you what's going on. So right here, I'm getting into the cast material just a little bit, but back here, it feels like the weld is still ever so slightly raised. So I don't know if this inboard surface is slightly lower than this outboard surface is. I need to do some measuring on that and make sure I'm not goofing something up on myself here. So anyways, I'm going to cut the video out there, and like I said, it'll probably be a while before there's a whole lot of anything else. I just had to get out here and do a little bit of something. I was missing my machines.